What it do, YouTube? It's SS, and I'm back with another video. And we finally did it. We finally hit expert on this long journey. Didn't really think I'd make it, but we made it. Two battles I do believe are gone, so this is gonna be like 13 battles. I'm gonna show you guys the first three sets. I made it up to 2850, and then I ended up falling a little bit, but we're at 2792, I do believe. So tomorrow we'll be giving it another go. But like I said, if we make it, we make it. If we don't, then we don't. All is good. But either way, I hope you guys liked the video. Like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, let's just get into the battles. They're gonna go ahead and sludge wave us, and we're just gonna go ahead and throw the rock slide. They do let it go through, which is pretty good for us. They got a Venusaur in the back. And I'm thinking, what should I do here? How do I win this? So I go into my Venusaur. And since I had a little turn of lag there, I got denied, so I ended up taking it off my Wi-Fi so I could put it on my data, however you guys pronounce it. But either way, we're just gonna end up losing this here. Yeah, they frenzy. I should have caught the frenzy. They got a double in the back, and this is looking pretty tricky. But let's see what we can do. I'm gonna make sure to throw in good timing here. We do throw in good timing. I'm gonna go straight for the weather ball. Do they want a shield? They don't want a shield, which is fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through as well. I'm hoping that I can make it to another weather ball here. It's gonna be very close. Can we make it to another one? We don't make it to another one, and unfortunately, we're gonna yeah. My only win con there was to try to farm down, make it to two moves, and throw back to back on the Venusaur. But we weren't able to do that, so we're gonna end up losing that one. But now we're gonna see a Wiggly into our Cradilly, and they swap out into a Licky Tongue, and I'm like, what do I do here? Well, this is probably a Power Whip. It is the Power Whip, so I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and straight go for another Grass Knot here. Do they want to shield? Let's see. They don't want to shield, which is fine with me. I'm gonna go ahead and farm up a little bit extra here. And I'm thinking this is gonna be the body slam. If it's the body slam, we do live it. So I'm gonna go ahead and under tap the rock slide just in case it is a little bit less energy. So just in case I do make it to another one, but we are not able to make it to another one, which is fine. So I'm gonna come into my Venusaur here. I'm gonna go ahead and shield one of these body slams. But I do believe that they're gonna make it. No, they don't. This is a different battle then. So and then in the back they have a Medicham, and this is looking pretty tricky. I go for the catch, but I don't get the catch, but they end up swapping either way. So now I'm gonna go straight for the Dazzling Gleam here, hoping that this is gonna be enough to KO, but it's not enough to KO, and I force them to end up throwing. I don't throw my move here because I don't want the Medicham to get farm. But either way, they undercharge it, and they're still gonna get farm here. So now I'm gonna go ahead and throw the Ice Punch, the Weather Ball here, and I'm gonna try to get to two moves here. I'm gonna go ahead and shield this. It is a nice punch. We're at the two moves. I do believe we're back to back frenzy, so I can go ahead and charge one up. And we're at the next one, so I can go ahead and throw that back to back, and then we're gonna be able to take this game. And yeah, a couple mistakes I did there, but either way, we were able to clutch it out and come back from that win. Now we're gonna see a Cafable into our Cordilli, and the meteor mashes are super effective, so I do expect them to go for the meteor mash here. They do go for the meteor mash. I'm gonna go ahead and let it go through. Obviously, does a lot of damage. And then I'm just gonna keep farming up here. They thought I was gonna throw in CMP. I don't want to throw in CMP just in case I do end up losing it. So now I'm gonna able to farm up a little bit more, but they end up switching out into their double. I'm gonna go ahead and throw Grass Knot. They do end up shielding, which is really good for me. So far, what I've noticed is that they're double weak to Venusaur. What's the chances that they're triple weak? I don't know. We'll probably see a flyer come out eventually here, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw my frenzy plant. They do end up shielding it, so that's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through. Now I'm gonna farm up a little bit extra energy. I'm gonna go ahead and shield this, I do believe, and I'm gonna try to farm up extra energy. They try to catch, but I should have farmed up more energy. And when I realized that, I stopped charging it up, but it's still enough to KO. And we're gonna see how we do this. They're gonna come into a Quagsire, and they are pretty much triple weak to Venusaur. Um, Obviously the double kicks are resisted because of the poison typing on Venusaur, and at this point they just end up conceding. They just force quit the app, and we're gonna get a little bit of lag here. We're gonna be able to take them out, and that is GG. They knew it was over. There was really nothing that they could do there at that point. So yeah, it was just over. And we're gonna take a little bit of our time to redeem our points here. We do end up. This is the first set, I do believe. So this is the set that we do end up hitting expert right here. We get an Onyx for an encounter, and we're gonna go ahead and press it. We do make it up to 2763. I'm not too sure what it was, but it was something like that. It was small. It's very small on my screen. I can't really tell. But either way, now we're gonna see a Dragonair into Credilli. This could be really good. I know I can live one move here, so I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through. And they do go for the body slam, which is very interesting. Knowing that it's resisted because of the rock typing, but they still go for it regardless. Doesn't matter. And now we're gonna get KO'd by the Dragonair, and we're gonna come into our Alolan Ninetales, and I'm just gonna go ahead and shield this one. The body slam did do a lot of damage. I'm gonna try to farm down completely. We're loaded with energy here. They come into Cresselia, and this is not looking too particularly good. I'm hoping that they don't have what's it called? Future Sight, and they end up swapping, and I'm like, okay, they're going to shield their shadow victory bell. So I go for the bait, and now I'm hoping this is enough to KO. It is enough to KO, and now I'm gonna go ahead and shield this. I was thinking about, do I shield this? Yeah. Either way, if it's a Moonblast, it's still gonna hurt a lot. And if I do let the Moonblast go through, then they're gonna put me in range where they can farm me down with those psycho cuts, and that would be really bad. So I rather shield and get a frenzy off and take that game. Now we're gonna see another Cresselia in the lead, and this is okay. This is fine, I guess. And we're now just gonna go ahead and start throwing out these grass knots here. They go for the Moonblast, which is fine. I'm gonna over farm a little bit extra right before they get to the next right before they get to the grass knot or the next Moonblast. And I'm gonna go ahead and do one more bullet seam for their two cycle cuts. And then I'm gonna go ahead and shield this, thinking it's the Moonblast. It is the Moonblast. I'm gonna over farm. I do throw right away on bad timing just because I do want to get this move off. They do end up shielding, and they throw right away either way. So now I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through. It is a Moonblast. We do live it, but we don't make it to another move, which is pretty bad, but it's fine. Now I'm thinking, who should I go into? So I'm gonna come into Venusaur. I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through. If it's a Moonblast, so be it. If it's a Future Sight, then we're kind of out of luck, and we end up getting the debuff here. So technically, I probably shouldn't have thrown this move here. Should have just ended up swapping out. But either way, it's gonna work out. They're gonna swap out. They're gonna come into an Azumarill, and I know that I'm gonna farm up. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure to throw this Dazzling Gleam. They let it go through. I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through as well. It is a play rough. And then we're gonna farm up extra energy here. And I do believe I end up throwing on bad timing, and that is why you guys see a bubble snake through. They're trying to over farm here, and I'm just gonna go straight for it. I needed the clock to be up so I could switch out, but it was a little bit too late, and now I'm gonna over farm here. I'm hoping this is a Shadow Ball. It is a Shadow Ball, and now I'm gonna be able to get to another move here. I'm gonna go straight for the Frenzy Plant because I know that they're gonna shield. Oh, they okay. Never mind. They don't have any shields, but I do need to go to back-to-back frenzies here to have enough moves for the Azumarill and the Trevenant, and we're gonna be able to take that game. Now we're going to see Credilli into Medicham. Obviously, this is a very bad lead. I don't really know what I should do here, so I'm just going to go ahead and stick it out and stay in. And now they're going to build up to the Ice Punch. This is fine, and I'm going to go ahead and let it go through. Maybe should have shielded. I don't know. But either way, we're going to get a Grass Knot off. You guys see that does a lot of damage. And I'm going to go ahead and bank the move. They come into a Bastiodon, and I'm like, okay, well, this is pretty much over. And I end up giving him a free move there as well. I did not time my moves correctly. So now we're gonna keep spamming out these weather balls. Weather ball after weather ball. It is taking a while, I know, right? This Pokemon so tanky. Once again, I do believe I end up throwing on bad timing, but that is because I do believe that that one's gonna KO. So now I'm gonna come into my Venusaur, hoping. No, I know that I can live this. Stone Edge flamethrower, whatever it is. I know I can live it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and shield this, and I'm thinking that they're gonna combo play me, but they don't. And then they end up swapping into a lantern. So at this point, I probably shouldn't have done that. Probably should have tried to farm down completely, but I wanted to try to get a shield here. We don't get a shield. They're gonna come into their Medicham, and I'm going to at least make it to one frenzy plant here, and we're gonna get the first shield here, and then they're gonna be able to make it to another move. It's gonna KO us, and it's the ice punch. And since I'm at a move here, I throw the move, but they catch on their Bastiodon, and Bastiodon is tanky enough to live it, and we're gonna end up losing that game. Now we're gonna see a Galvantula into our Credilli. The lunges are super effective as well as the rock slide. So I'm gonna go ahead and shield this. I'm gonna do one bullet seed for their 1 volt switch, 3 turn versus 4 turn, so I can do one, and then I'm gonna be able to make it to another one. They do shield just in case it was the Stone Edge, is what I'm thinking, but they end up double shielding. They didn't have to shield that one; they would have ended up living like in the red. I do believe I do get this next one off, and they still end up living, which is pretty bad for me. So now I'm gonna try to over farm and get to another move, but they end up throwing before I get to throw my move. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through, thinking about who I should come into, and I'm like, you know what? Well, probably Ninetales is gonna be a smoother farm down. Then they come into a Galarian Stunfisk. I'm gonna try to catch a Rock Slide. They hold out on their energy, and they're gonna go ahead and farm up a lot of energy. I'm thinking this is a Rock Slide, but I still end up shielding, and I'm gonna go ahead and go for the uh Frenzy Plant, man, I can't remember. The Frenzy Plant, and then they're gonna get to the Earthquake here. So I'm gonna go ahead and over farm as much as I can, or try to farm as much as I can. And they're gonna go ahead and let it go through. In the back is a Quagsire. I'm gonna have enough health and enough energy to make it to the Frenzy Plant to be able to KO the Quagsire and take that game there. And now we're gonna hop into the next battle. We're gonna see a Golbat into our Credilli. This is really good, but they end up swapping out into a double. And at this point, I'm like, well, who do I go into? So I go into my Ninetales, and they're gonna make it. I was hoping to catch a payback, but they didn't. I don't think they're running the payback. I think they had the wild charge. But either way, we're gonna start chunking out these moves here, and then I'm gonna go straight for the CMP here. And I'm like, okay, are they gonna shield? They do want to shield, and I'm surprised. Why are they shielding? I don't understand why. But either way, I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through. It is the wild charge, and since I know I don't want to take a wild charge, well, I can. They're not gonna wild charge this Credilli, so the body slams are resisted. I'm gonna go ahead and let this go. No shield. A shield. Okay, it is a wild charge. For some reason they ended up throwing a wild charge, and then in the back they have a sand slash, which is looking really bad for me. I'm gonna go ahead and get this rock slide off. I switch out trying to snipe them, but they don't let me snipe them, and then they come into a Golbat, and yeah, this is just really bad for us at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through, and it is the Poison Fang. Hoping it was a Shadow Ball, but it was not the Shadow Ball. They know that they can go for the Poison Fang, straight go for the farm down, and now I need to. I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through, hoping it's a Poison Fang, but I know it's not gonna be a Poison Fang. They do have a move on their Sand Slash, so unfortunate for me, I'm gonna end up losing that game, and we're gonna go 3-2 again, and we're gonna get a Gumi. I do believe it was a Gumi as our reward encounter, and not good IV, but we do make it to 2770. I do believe the number was. This time we're gonna have a good lead. Azumarill into Arcadilly, and we're gonna farm up energy here. I'm gonna go throw right away. They should be at the ice beam right here. It takes 5 bubbles for the ice beam. Now they go for 6, which is fine. I'm gonna go ahead and shield, knowing this is gonna be an ice beam. They are 4 away from the next move, and then they come into an Altaria, and I'm gonna farm up extra energy here. I'm gonna go throw the rock slide, get to the next move. I'm gonna come into my Ninetales, go ahead let this go through. And now I'm gonna go ahead and farm up energy here, get to at least back to back, close to 100 energy. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the weather ball. I doubt that they're gonna shield, so they no shield there. and then they come into their Azumarill. I do believe that was bad timing for me, but either way, I'm gonna go ahead and throw Dazzling Gleam, and they end up letting it go through. They come into their own Alolan Ninetales, and I'm like, okay, I kind of need them to shield, but they're over farming, and at this point, I guess they don't want me to throw another weather ball, so they go for the CMP tie, and we end up winning the CMP tie. And now we're gonna go ahead and let that go through. But they end up farming. Um, they undercharge it, so I swap out into my Venusaur. Then I try to get to. I let the first move go through, hoping I can get to a Frenzy Plant. I do make it to the Frenzy Plant, and because of that, we do have a move on our Cordilli, and this is gonna be enough to KO. Well, it's gonna be overkill, but it's gonna be enough to kill the KO the Alolan Ninetales on the opposing side. And now we're gonna see another good lead, and this is really good for us. Now they're gonna swap out to a Medicham, and I'm like, okay, what do I do here? I'm gonna go for the Grass Knot here, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go straight for my Venusaur. Maybe a bad move here, but I'm assuming this is gonna be a Psychic, but they do go for the Ice Punch, which is fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and go for the Frenzy. At this point, the Medicham is pretty low, so they do let it go through, which is fine. I'm gonna go ahead and shield this, knowing this is gonna be a Psychic for sure. So I do get the farm down here. They're gonna come into a Noctowl, which is not good for us, but we're gonna see what we can do here. Be able to get to a move here. They end up throwing, knowing that I would not throw the Frenzy Plant. Then they're gonna come into their Noctowl. I'm gonna farm up energy here, a lot of energy, and I'm gonna go straight for the Dazzling Gleam. Do they want to shield? Let's see. They do want to shield, which is fine. So now at this point, I'm assuming that they're gonna go for the Stone Edge. They do go for the Stone Edge. I'm gonna switch out immediately, and then we're gonna make it to. They're gonna make it to a Mud Bomb or Stone Edge before we do, and I just want to make sure that I have enough energy to at least make it to the next Rock Slide before they make it to a move, and we're gonna be able to make it to a move to the Rock Slide and take it out and win that game. So now we're gonna hop into the next battle. Did I not chop this up? Okay, I was about to say, did I not chop it up good enough? Okay, now we're gonna see Cofagrigus. I don't know how somebody has a Cofagrigus, but apparently somebody caught a Cofagrigus. And so I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through. It is the Shadow Ball. I was hoping that they would bait me, but they didn't bait me. I'm gonna go ahead and go straight for the Grass Knot. I'm gonna farm up here, and then I'm gonna go straight for the Rock Slide because I know this is less energy, and at this point they kind of have to shield. So they do end up shielding. I'm gonna go straight for the Rock Slide once again, hoping that they do end up letting this go through, but we end up getting the next shield, which is fine with me. So now I'm gonna go ahead and go to my Ninetales. I know I can shield one, but I eventually will have to take one Shadow Ball as well. So this is the next Shadow Ball. I am going to let it go through, but we are going to come out with a lot of energy, and whatever is in the back most likely does not want to see a Dazzling Gleam. And then they come into a Carbinks, and I'm like, okay, they're staying in. Are they double weight to Venusaur in the back? They are double weight to Venusaur. At this point, I'm just gonna go straight for the Frenzy Plant here. It is enough to KO. I'm gonna over farm here, get to back Frenzy Plants. We're gonna throw the first one because it's not gonna be enough to KO, but I don't throw the next one. I just end up farming down, and that's gonna be a good game. Now we're gonna hop into the next battle. I don't see what this is. Oh, this is a Carbinks. This is really good for us. They come into a double. And once again, I'm going to go ahead and throw my move here. I do believe they're at 3, 4. Oh, maybe. I don't know. I might kind of wrong. But either way, I was hoping to catch a move here. I don't catch a move. And this is looking really bad for us because low key, I should have went to Venusaur. Um, because now, as you guys see right there, I stopped tapping. I did not do the fast move because I do want this this double to do more damage to me, but I'm not able to actually KO. They do get to another move, which is fine. So now I'm hoping at this point that these double grass Pokemon that I have are gonna be enough to KO the Pokemon in the back. And we know that Carbinks is weak to grass, so I'm gonna try to catch the superpower, but we don't catch the superpower. Instead, we end up catching a Leaf Blade. And they're gonna come into their Carbinks, which is really good for me because now I can farm up. I'm gonna be able to throw the frenzy plant here. They're probably going to shield, but they don't end up shielding, which is fine with me. So I'm gonna go ahead and shield this, and then I'm gonna try to go straight for the farm down here. And we do end up getting the farm down, but we're very low health. So I'm gonna go ahead and start throwing out these frenzy plants because I know that they're gonna end up shielding it. I'm going to go ahead and let this go through, thinking it is not the not the superpower. It is not the superpower. We do end up getting the move off, and they knew that I had another move on my Venusaur, so we're gonna be able to take that game. And I'm not sure if this is the last game, might be the second last game or the last game, but either way, we're gonna see another good lead, and this is going to. They're just gonna be throwing surfs because they can't really do anything. I'm gonna throw my grass knot right before they get, or right when they get to, right before, I guess it's right before they get to the surf, right? And then at this point I do believe I can farm down completely. No, I cannot. So I'm gonna go straight for the rock slide here and see what they want to do. They shield, so I'm gonna go straight for the rock slide because we're at back to back. This is CMP. Do they want to shield? They don't want to shield, and that is really good for us. And I'm going to be able to make it to a grass knot, which is really good for us. This is gonna be like almost half damage. What the bullet seed was like half. They're gonna come into a Golbat, and then we come into our Alolan Ninetales. I let this go through. I'm like, we could definitely live one, but though that poison thing did a lot of damage, not going to lie. And now I'm starting to get scared. Will I make it to another one? But we safely concealed this, knowing it's another poison thing. And I'm just gonna go straight for the weather ball here, hoping this is enough to KO. It is enough to KO, and we're gonna farm up. I'm gonna be able to make it to another weather ball here, and it is not enough to KO. But I'm gonna go ahead and switch out. At this point, I don't need to shield. I can just let this go through, and I can let the next one go through as well. No need to shield. This could be a payback, and we still live with 1 HP. And either way, take that game. So, nah. Okay, that was the last game, and we do end up going 5-0 on the last set that I'm going to show you guys. And like I said, we made it up to 2850, but then I did have two sets that were bad, and we dropped down to 2792. But either way, tomorrow will be another day. I hope you guys like the battles, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video.